Dapat hindi ka parte nung nagpapakalat ng fake news. Ang reality kasi talaga, parang yung availability ng information, minsan na-abuse din.
Yeah.
'Di ba? At nagagamit din siya sa hindi magandang pamamaraan. When you feel na yung konsensya mo uusiyin ka, or that pag-uwi mo sa bahay hindi ka makakatulog, or mahihirapan kang i-justify yun sa sarili mo, pagdating ng araw, ba't mo siya ginawa? Then I think dapat mag-isip ka talaga.
Hi everyone, welcome to Breaking Ground, where we break stories from up top and on the ground. In this episode, communications professional, pilot, and former TV reporter Steve Dailisan joins us to unpack how public information is actually shaped. This is not just about media or public relations. It is about trust. When controversies break and stories trend online, who decides what the public sees and believes? And what responsibility do communicators carry when their work can influence opinion, calm panic, and protect power? Let's get to the episode. Mr. Steve Dailisan.
Okay yan, girl.
Hello,
A minimum
hello.
of 3 E's.
Okay,
Sakto.
3 seconds of peace. Thank you so much kasi pinagbigyan mo kami today.
Thank you, ma. Of course, my pleasure, Car. Bilang ikaw yan, so I said
Wow.
yes.
Thank you. So for today, we actually want to know your insights about corporate communications, especially with your background. No? But of course, I should first ask, no, saan ba nanggaling yung Steve Dailisan? Kasi that's a very unique sign-off. And I think after you, ang dami nang naging reporters na they really make it a point na meron na rin silang trademark.
Sa akin, I wouldn't say that it's by accident because intentional talaga yun. Because during my first year as a reporter, yung mga sources natin, tinatawag ako Speed, Dave, basta kung ano-anong pangalan.
Okay.
Kasi nga, pag Steve Dailisan, tapos binalikan ko yung mom ko, sabi ko, ma, tingnan mo yung mga kapatid ko, lahat sila tagdadalawang pangalan. Ako, Steve lang, ang ikli. Hindi tuloy ako matandaan. Ganyan. Sabi niya, anak, huwag ka magalala, long E naman yung Steve. Sabi ko, long E pala yung E sa Steve, ha? So,
okay.
so, sinimulan ko talaga ng Steve Dailisan. Tapos, pagdating ko sa newsroom, sabi ni Jessica Soha sa akin, Steve, ba't ang haba? Sabi ko, kasi kung ano po yung tinatawag sa akin, ito ganyan. Tapos the following day, sabi niya, sige, bawasan mo ng isang E. So yun na talaga, madali na siyang tandaan kasi sa atin, parang siguro, hindi naman importante sa atin na yung pagiging personality, di ba? But sa atin, it's important that we build that imaginary trust. Kasi once people know or people acknowledge or recognize you when you're out there covering the news or the story, at least mas madaling sabi, magpapa-interview ako, naalala ko siya.
Yeah.
So, ang dali nga naman, pag nasa labas ka, uy, si Steve! Papa-interview ako. Parang
Actually,
ganun.
it's a good thing you mentioned something about personalities. Kasi now we see, nagbablur na yung lines, no? Between just being a TV reporter and then also becoming a social media personality. But we'll get to that later. What I wanna ask is, what made you decide to leave the newsroom and then transition to corporate?
Kasi right after college, actually a week after college, I started now with GMA.
Wow.
So yun talaga yung ano ko, and by accident lang din yun. Very short story. Sometime February, pumunta sa amin si Howie Severino sa school, sa PUP. Naghanap siya ng 10 students to take the exam sa GMA. And I was chosen as one of the 10.
Okay.
Pero pagdating ko sa GMA, ayaw ko papasukin ng guard. Ayaw ko pag-take ng exam because wala nga akong ID. Yung ID ko kasi before, ginagamit na for clearance
Okay,
sa internal audit. And then, at that time, ang meron ako pink form lang ng SSS. Ako, pwede bang ito na lang? Nakikiusap talaga ako. Sabi ko, hindi ko makakalimutan yung pangalan ni Kuya Rex at that time. Siya yung security. Ayaw talagang papasukin. Sabi ko sa kanya, Kuya Rex, magiging reporter ako dito. Sabi nga. Tapos, and then, siguro mga almost an hour na, naawa sila sa akin. So, they allowed me to take the exam. Tapos, 3 pa kaming nakapasok. So, sabi ko, sabi ko baka, every time na nakakasalubong ko yung si Kuya Rex, sabi ko, di ba? Sabi ko, makakapasok ako dito. Ayun.
Nagdilang anghel.
Nagdilang anghel talaga. And hindi talaga, walang pahinga, walang break. Pero na-enjoy ko talaga yung more than a decade ko with GMA.
Wow, so ilang years ka in total?
12 going 13 when I left.
And now, with corporate, ilang years ka na?
Ito kasi parang, when I left GMA kasi, so parang somewhat corporate din yung consultant na role ko for comms that is Department of Transportation. So more or less, say, almost 10 years na rin.
Wow.
Oo, parang ganun. So, wow, parang nag-plus-plus ako sa edad ko. Parang hindi naman pala ganun. Let's, pababain natin ako. So, yun. And yeah, so parang when I reached that decision, sabi ko nagawa ko na yung gusto kong gawin sa media, na-cover ko na yung gusto kong i-cover, nakapag-docu na ako, nakapag-anchor and everything else. So
Yeah.
parang I felt I was happy and yung feeling ng content na sabi ko okay na ako doon. Nagawa ko na it's time to close that chapter and open a new one.
Yeah.
So, I started yung flying school journey ko immediately after. So, hindi naman ako, pinagsasabay ko yung flying school at saka yung consultancy work before.
So, pag may flight ka ba, you also introduce yourself as Captain Steve, gano'n.
Kasi nga, dahil nasa comms tayo for consistency, so ganun din.
Okay.
Tapos kakatok sila, si ano po ba yan?
Tapos magpapapicture sila sa'yo.
Oo. Previously, yun. Marami siguro mga kapuso or mga nakakilala na sasabihin sa cabin crew before na pwede
Papapicture.
ba picture sa, yun. Tapos I think yung mga naging pasahero ko si Sir Howie Severino, di ba siya yung talagang naging very instrumental sa
Yeah,
aking...
that's so wild.
Oo. So, full circle moment siya. Naging pasahero ko siya sa Bangkok flight na yun.
So international flights talaga yung hinahawakan mo?
Mostly before kasi yun nga, mina-maximize din yung time because previously, I only get to fly mga twice a week kasi nga full-time minamanage ko yung comms and corporate affairs.
So now that you had over a decade of experience with media and then you did corporate communications, would you say that there is something like is one easier than the other, or do you think it's not really comparable?
Well,
Kasi some people would say na mas madali daw mag-reporter than mag-corporate comms.
talaga ba?
But other people naman say it's the other way around.
Sa akin, I think I was able to marry kasi yung, number one, in my previous job, I was able to marry yung love for journalism and passion for aviation because I was able to do both. But in terms of ano ba yung mas madali, yung isa o yung isa, I guess napadali ng previous role ko as a journalist, yung trabaho ko as a communications professional kasi of course, dapat ando dun yung authenticity, transparency and all. Kasi they expect you to, to still be credible and that everything you say grounded sa truth and facts and honesty, di ba? So I think it's easier because the trust is already there. Ngayon, in terms of content, you also know exactly what your stakeholders need. Halimbawa, yung the quotes that you provide, yung press release, dapat very useful siya. And the programs that you carry out, dapat rin siya, kumbaga palatable siya sa stakeholders. So I think nakatulong ng malaki yung previous experience sa media and alam mo exactly kung ano yung mga press releases na ilalagay sa basura or hindi na babasahin at all.
Ano yung makakatawid sa print, no? Or I mean, for publication.
Yes.
Yeah,
And as a spokesperson then, it's easier to face the camera and, di ba, parang others kasi, well, sabi nila parang not everyone is fit to face the camera as a spokesperson, di ba? So I think nakatulong din talaga yung exposure as a journalist.
Yeah.
Every day ba naman magre-recitation ka kay Jessica Soho, kina Tita Mel, kina the late Mike Enriquez, diba? So at least you were able to build yung confidence sa pagharap as a spokesperson.
For the people who are really not in the corporate or in communications no, in general, how would you differentiate corporate communications from marketing? Because sometimes, pag sinabi ng companies na they need marketing, they feel like okay, we really don't need a comms person kasi may marketing na kami?
Kakaiba yung mindset na yun pagka ganun. Kasi marketing will tell you what to buy and comms will tell you why you should buy it. So, di ba? Parang ganun yun. Parang sa akin, we give purpose and meaning dun sa produkto. And we explain to people na hindi lang siya basta communications, but it's really reputation management. Because, di ba, sa panahon ngayon, it's so easy to be, and a lot of companies tend to become vulnerable sa mga attacks, di ba? On social media, ang dali-dali, parang may reklamo or meron ka agad na ipopost na lang sa social media and then suddenly, yung years of good reputation, masisira siya just because of a single post. That's why it's important really to have a very strong corporate communications team para to safeguard that reputation because it ensures the viability of the business.
I was about to ask you, for example, if you're gonna make an elevator pitch, no, to a CEO why you need a comms person. But I think you answered that perfectly already. So siguro, before we really get to the ethics of it, no, ano ba yung secret recipe if you want material, whether it's a press release, or a campaign, how can you ensure that it's going to be effective based from someone coming from the newsroom and then ikaw na nakatawid na rin?
I think it's important that you newsjack, di ba? Para at least yung relevance nung content mo ando doon agad and it gets picked up. And but not only that, importante rin na may laman talaga yung content, yung press release mo or if you're having a press conference, make sure na the questions na gustong malaman nung audience masasagot. Kasi may mga pagkakataon kasi na di ba, parang tayo na experience natin before as media practitioners na alam nating may gini-gatekeep na information. And I think fair lang din naman, di ba? But not to a point na papupuntahin ka sa press con and you don't get to ask questions. Di ba? Or at least to a point na it's more of selling. Parang nagiging selling opportunity na siya rather than providing information, parang useful tips, yung mga ganon. I think it's important na as communications or as communicators, di ba, na nabibigay natin yung purpose, yung reason, yung why. Yun yung pinaka-important sa audience or sa stakeholders.
So dapat talaga clearly defined sa company yung marketing and yung communications because you cannot do both. I mean, the comms cannot do marketing and marketing vice versa.
Distinct yung roles nila. And I think one will not exist without the other or the company may have a marketing team but without a comms the company is not strong enough, I think, to withstand any reputational issues or challenges.
Our boss likes to call it the Teflon coating. When he makes an analogy, like niya sinasabi na yung comms, yun yung Teflon coating ng kaldero. So dapat makapal yung Teflon coating. Are there any values or skills na natutunan mo from being a media person that became really useful when you transition?
Nako, importante yung good relations. Buti na lang yung mga panahon. Kasi palabati naman ako talaga as a person. So, siguro nakatulong din yun na naaalala nila yung mga...
So, parang pag masungit ka nung,
nung reporter ka, good luck. So, yun. As with any other industries, tingin ko, importante talaga na marunong ka makisama. Dalawa, dapat alam mo yung sinasabi mo. And not only you become an important voice, but a voice that matters, di ba? Yung parang they need the quotes or they need your statement because they find it relevant. And dapat naiintindihan mo yun bilang dating media practitioner. Hindi basta sabi lang ng soundbite, tas mapapagod yung reporter sa pag-time code ng mga sinabi mo during the interview.
Kumbaga kung pinapaikot mo lang.
Yes. So, and then, of course, importante rin talaga na ginagawa mo ng maayos yung research. At saka data-driven din yung content mo. Kasi ako, para sa akin, kapag naglabas ka ng material or ng press release, dapat hindi lang siya basta kwento. Dapat may historical background. Di ba ginagawa natin as a reporter?
Context. No?
May context para naiintindihan din siya ng mga reporter. And pinapadali mo rin yung buhay nila kasi hindi ka na nila babalikan para tanungin, ano nga itong pwede humingi ng data ng ganito. At least meron ka na. And I think they appreciate it. Tayo, nung reporter tayo, na-appreciate natin.
Oo. Meron talaga mga certain practices, no, na pag ikaw yung naging receiver and then you become the giver of the press release, at least in this case, you see ano yung useful sa hindi.
Correct.
So you talk about communications as reputation management. No? And how would you describe reputation management? Is it clarification, persuasion, manipulation? None of those or all of it?
I think para sa akin, reputation management is really about protecting the interest of the company. Sa lahat ng bagay, 'di ba? And it's a big responsibility because you get to shape people's opinion and not just your external stakeholders but your internal stakeholders as well. Kung marami kang mga empleyado na nagrereklamo and they post it on social media or they tell it to their friends or family members at hindi sila happy, ibig sabihin you're not also doing your job as a reputation manager. Hindi mo rin nagagawa ng maayos yun. So I think nag-evolve na rin siya, Carly, yung pagiging, 'di ba? Sabi nila PR. Yun. So and sometimes may negative connotation pa nga yung PR o namimi-R, 'di ba? Yung parang ganon. That's why I believe it's now reputation management because at all costs, you take good care of the reputation of the company. Kasi anything that you say or at least anything that you miss might affect the reputation of the company. So baka mamaya bigla bumaba yung stocks. Di ba? O di kaya unintentionally may mga nasabi or may mga may nailabas na hindi na pwedeng bawiin. So yun. And syempre, it also yung by doing reputation management, you also get to amplify the good that the company brings to the community, di ba? So yun.
Coming off from what you said, no, I think very important is the question of whether or not you, for example, as a comms professional, is it okay, for example, disagree with the company if they have a decision that is against your values? Parang how do you grapple with that? Or parang dapat pagpasok mo pa lang sa company, no, you make sure that the values are aligned. But kung magkaroon man ng misalignment along the way, how do you handle that?
Sa akin naman, parang number one, regardless of the industry, your role as a communications professional is to safeguard reputation. Yun.
Okay.
So, dapat clear yon. Number two, tama ka, dapat aligned yung values mo with the company. But in reality, there are certain instances na hindi talaga mag-align. Diba? But you step back and you think, and you analyze na as a leader and as a communicator, dapat you know how to compromise. And I think dyan pumapasok yung growth mindset din. Because at the end of the day, it's not just your opinion, diba? It's the company. So you need to be a team player then. To make sure na you're able to fine-tune the messaging. Baka, learning to compromise is, I think, a heroic thing. Di ba? Because it's difficult, di ba? Because ikaw meron kang sariling mong opinion and you feel strongly about it and you think that it will bring good to the company. But there are also other leaders in the company that has the same feeling and opinion about it, di ba? So parang, or a different opinion. So, kailangan i-harmonize mo yon kasi comms professional ka.
Tama. So, hindi na lang ito basta about sa'yo, no?
Yes.
But now you're part of a bigger mission and
Correct.
vision, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I guess when we ask ourselves, where is the line, no? On, for example, I'm not doing this versus, okay, this is something I can compromise with. So yun ba ay nakadepende sa set of values na lang ng person? There is really no hard and fast rule when it comes to that.
I think, oo. When you feel na yung konsensya mo usiyin ka, or that pag uwi mo sa bahay, hindi ka makakatulog, or mahihirapan kang i-justify yun sa sarili mo, pagdating ng araw, ba't mo siya ginawa, then I think dapat mag-isip ka talaga. Kasi dyan papasok din yung ethics mo. Ano ba yung paniniwala mo? Ano ba yung, nasan ba yung boundaries mo? Ayan.
So, kumbaga at the end of the day, hindi rin naman siya basta pera-pera lang, no?
Dapat hindi. Kasi
Uso na sa mga Gen Z ngayon yung hindi alipin ng salapi mindset, di ba?
Oo. Kasi, I think as a former broadcast journalist, solid yung foundation mo ng kung ano yung truth para sa'yo, di ba? Parang kung ano yung credibility at kung ano yung integrity para sa'yo. And dala-dala mo yon.
Yeah.
Personally, ako ganun talaga laging basehan ko. Kasi hinubog ka nung di ba parang as a journalist, lagi mong ipepresent both sides of the story.
Yeah.
No? So, parang tinuruan din tayo to appreciate the good and the bad. So, parang yun pa rin yung basis ko when I make my decisions.
So how do you speak truth to power within the company hierarchy?
Of course, I make them realize my point or the value of my opinion. Because ultimately, I think the reason why they hired me is because they know that it is for the best interest of the company parati yung iisipin mo, di ba? But I also, yung experience talaga, it will teach you that you also need to learn to appreciate the wisdom of people who are ahead of you.
Yeah.
Diba? So parang dapat kumaga nafa-factor in mo rin talaga yon. There must be a reason bakit nangyayari yon, or there must be a reason why they're doing it. So yun. You just need to siguro appreciate their guidance and wisdom.
Kasi pareho tayong galing media. Do you think it's a communicator's role to hold the company accountable for their promises? Like, for example, we said to our shareholders that this is the target. But then the company decided to suddenly move the goalpost without really having an explanation. Or saying that this is the target and you just didn't announce that we actually didn't able to do it. So do you think role ba ng Corpcom yun na parang tapikin yung management na, oh, we actually said this before, but this is not what we're doing?
Alam kong ginagawa yun. Kasi as a responsible communicator, dapat accountable ka rin. Diba? Dun sa mga sinabi ng mga leaders or ng mga spokesperson ng kumpanya. And kapag hindi natin nagawa yun, dapat transparent din tayo. Kasi ako naniniwala ako lagi, Carl, na walang hindi nadadaan sa maayos na pag-uusap.
Right.
Yun. As a communicator, dapat malinaw sa iyo yun, na kaya mong lahat pwedeng mapag-usapan. Pwede tayong hindi magkasundo ngayon, pero pwedeng mapag-usapan ulit natin siya sa susunod na pagkakataon. Importante lang na alam natin na hindi natin tinalikuran na lang basta yung accountability na yon. At pag hindi natin na-achieve yung target na yon, we explain to people. Ako, ganun yung ginagawa namin. Sinasabi namin na ba't hindi siya possible ngayon. But who knows, it might be possible again in the next few months. Diba?
Ikaw, since you have experience being a spokesperson, no, may mga times ba na, for example, they give you a script and you're like, I can say this?
Sa akin naman, parang hindi. Kasi, number one, yung team ko, when we draft the talking points, dinadraft namin talaga siya in a way na align siya sa kung ano yung gusto namin sabihin. But there are instances na, halimbawa, yung talking points, hindi siya masusunod ng CEO. And ako, kina-call out ko rin yun. Sabihin ko, ba't hindi mo nabanggit ito? Parang baka dapat banggitin natin. So, your role naman ngayon as a communicator is to make sure na sa susunod na occasion or opportunity, mas masabi yun.
So ano rin, no, kailangan talaga as a communicator, may tapang ka rin to call out.
Assertive.
Yeah, dapat assertive ka.
Sabi nga nila, Carl, ay parang dapat confident humility yung pinairal mo. Not too confident because you're gonna be seen as arrogant, and not too humble because people might think you're stupid. So dapat,
Right.
balance yun.
Ang ganda, confident humility. I guess it really helps when you came from the media, no? Kasi napapansin ko, nagfo-flourish talaga sila pagdating sa corporate because hindi sila nahihiyang makipag-usap talaga with the bosses, no? Kasi yung values talaga na form, no? So hindi yes men, no? They really know how to assert themselves, but for the good of the company.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, yes. Very important yung respectfully. Now, no, since you're in the corporate, I think meron ng different level of public responsibility. No? But there still is, right? So, what do you think is the role of corporate communicators when it comes to fighting misinformation?
Naku, malaki. Kasi, di ba, kumbaga, source ka na ngayon eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba? So dapat unang-una tama yung mga inilalabas mong information, dapat backed by research, tama yung data. It's important na ikaw sa sarili mo confident ka na tama yung bawat numero na lumalabas. And kung meron mang dapat may tamang attribution din.
Right.
So 'di ba ito yung mga ginagawa natin as a media practitioner,
Yeah.
'di ba, na nagfa-fact check ka, nagdo-double fact check. Gagawin mo lahat ng makakaya mo to make sure na credible yung material na isiseed mo. So, number 1, yun. Number 2, dapat hindi ka parte nung nagpapakalat ng fake news.
Yeah.
Yun, kahit sa mga personal social media mo, dapat ikaw may conscious effort. Tapos, may self-restraint din. Baka mamaya share ka rin ng share. 'Di ba? And then, of course, syempre papasok dyan yung iba kasi nagre-resort to black PR propaganda.
Yeah. Or black ops,
Yeah,
no? Right. Gusto kong balikan ulit yung marketing versus corporate communications, no? Kasi madalas talaga silang nagbabangga. So for you, how do we really bridge the gap between selling the brand or whatever company is selling and then serving the truth? By truth, I mean yung truth of the company, what it believes in.
Tingin ko dapat they should work together, and instead of siguro mag-clash, baka collaboration dapat yung parehong objective ng marketing and communications. Because if they're in the same page as siguro and align with the vision of the leadership, mas madali kasing gawin yung campaign amplification, letting people know of the company narratives. So, mas madaling gawin yun eh.
Right.
But kailangan lang talaga alam ng bawat isa kung ano yung strengths nila, and i-optimize yun
Right.
to work for the interest of the company.
I don't know if nangyari na to sa work mo, no? But usually kasi, we hear stories na pagdating sa pagpili ng influencers, no? So, nagkakaroon ng debate yung marketing and communications. Probably branding would like someone who can sell, siguro marami following, engagement, but then the comms person wants someone who is aligned naman with the values. So how do you grapple with that kind of situation?
Parang parang comms naman talaga, konsyensya nung kumpanya. Di ba? Parang ganun talaga.
Also, would you say ang comms is siya yung konsensya ng kumpanya?
Yeah, I think, oo. Kasi tells you, teka lang, baka we're oversharing or overselling. Yung mga ganun, di ba? Baka, the end of the day, baka hindi natin ma-fulfill yung promises. Di ba? So, parang konsyensya talaga. Pag sinabi mo to, ito yung, niyan, repercussions niyan. Pag hindi tayo nagsalita, ito rin yan. Di ba? So, baka dapat ito yung i-share natin. So, lang talaga, dapat balansehin lang talaga siya. Kasi, mahirap din naman na hindi mo isusupport yung marketing initiatives because at the end of the day, you need
It's a
the
business.
company to sell.
Yeah.
Di ba? kahit na idea yan, produkto or services, 'di ba? So kailangan talagang bumenta at kumita. And you're there to support.
Right.
Yun. And importante na malinaw din sa'yo kung ano yung sinusuportahan mo. So yun lang din tingin ko. And wala naman din sigurong masama dun sa it's really about framing the narrative correctly. Na matatanggap siya ng maluwalhati sa puso ng stakeholder mo.
I really like what you said about, communications is actually the conscience of the company. But it keeps everyone in check na this is the narrative that we're saying. So we have to stick to the narrative, right?
Correct.
If you were given the power to implement a single policy or, I don't know, a regulation, anything, just to improve the quality of public information that goes out, is there anything that, alam mo yun, you would like for us to implement in the Philippines?
Naku, mabigat yan. Kasi di ba meron na tayo dapat access to information.
Yeah.
Dapat hindi na yan mahirap para sa ating lahat. Di ba? But ang reality kasi talaga, parang yung availability ng information, minsan na-abuse din.
Yeah.
Diba? At nagagamit din siya sa hindi magandang pamamaraan. Classic example yung, di ba, remember yung pandemic, bigay tayo ng bigay ng contact number natin,
Right, oo.
ng address natin, etc. So, if you notice before, ang dami magme-message sa'yo, di ba?
Ang dami na.
So, yun. So, I think dapat malinaw yung responsibility rin. But I'm all for, tawag nito, for sharing public documents
Right.
that are, I think that would help people understand where their taxes go. Kasi di ba sa panahon ngayon, with all the yung mga issues about flood control, about corruption and all, I think we need to demand, di ba? Na alam natin dapat kung saan napupunta yung buwis natin and napupunta ba yun sa tama. So I think yung ganung klase ng policy shift and yung blockchain na ginawa nila recently, di ba? Na parang, I think it's crucial also para alam natin sino ba yung mga involved sa bidding process, ilang beses na ba nanalo tong bidder na to.
Transparency talaga.
Yes. Kasi it helps a lot. And I think mag-exist yun, pero may responsibility rin tayo. Tayong mga nagsumisigaw na kailangan natin yung access to information. Dapat, syempre, i-process din natin yung information na yun. Hindi siya dapat nandoon lang. So it helps us in terms of decision-making, lalong-lalo na pagdating ng eleksyon.
Kanina, we were talking about the learnings from being a media person. Now, I want to ask you naman, I think, sabi mo nga, nearly a decade ka na, since you switched to corporate. Ano naman yung mga natutunan mo dito?
Well, yung basics pa rin ng reporting at ng broadcast journalism. Dapat hindi mawawala yung pundasyon, ika nga. Yung pagiging tapat, yung laging pagpili sa tama. Kasi
Wow,
diba,
very noble pa rin.
Oo, ganun pa rin eh. Oo, parang piliin mo pa rin yung tama parati. And tingin ko, importante na yung lesson as a communicator na dapat honest ka rin sa sarili mo sa mga bagay na kaya at hindi mo kayang gawin. Kasi people think na yung mga communicators are miracle workers. Di ba? Na parang, oy, kaya kong baguhin to by just putting this narrative out. No? So parang dapat humble ka rin to accept na yun nga, na there's some things that you can't do and you leave it to the judgment of siguro yung mga decision makers sa taas.
Tama.
Diba? So yun, it's just being humble and siguro yung pagiging totoo sa sarili.
Serbisyong totoo lamang.
Yeah. Pero dito, you can do a lot of things. Marami kang pwedeng gawin na makatutulong dun sa community, especially dun sa mga communities that you serve, dun sa inyong kumpanya.
You think it's a different kind of empowerment?
Yes, and public service also. Tingin ko hindi mawawala yun eh. Kasi yung responsibility ngayon is, parang narrative shaper ka na rin talaga di ba? Parang gano'n. But it shouldn't just end there. Dapat yung presence should be shifted to influence talaga. Para, you get to inspire people to do the same.
So, is that what makes this job meaningful or fulfilling for you right now?
Oo naman. Parang, para sa akin, if you are able to, sa point na to, dapat yung mentorship nandoon, that you
Right.
get to share whatever you've learned as a journalist, as a communicator, and you're able to mentor aspiring communication professionals para sila rin maging leader din,
Yeah.
di ba? Para you get to build very good succession planning. Yun yung mga iniisip mo rin yun. And of course, dapat at this point, kumbaga, mas lumawak na rin yung appreciation mo sa mga bagay-bagay.
What do
Di
you
ba?
mean by that?
Parang dati, pag nagko-cover tayo, yung mga stories na naisip natin, I feel strongly about this story. Dapat lumabas to, ganyan. Hindi mo intindihan bakit hindi siya mai-ere. Hindi mo na-appreciate. But ngayon, you get to see the bigger picture. Kaya pala hindi siya ganon. So, hindi pala pwedeng ilabas to kasi may mga ganitong factors, may mga ganitong considerations. Yun. So, you get to appreciate the bigger picture now.
And sometimes you have to take small losses for a bigger win.
Yes. And small wins, pa rin yun, Parang siguro pag inipon mo yung small wins mo, it's still, a victory at the end of the day.
Do you ever think of going back to
Sa media? Oh, why not?
Talaga?
Parang naisip ko, parang siguro, pero hindi ko na siguro iniisip na nasa field reporting. But perhaps siguro makatulong sa paano ba ma-reshape din yung newsroom. Parang ganun na yung nasa isip ko ngayon. How to make it more effective. Parang ganun na yun.
more on managing
Yes.
the operations?
Yes.
That's nice. So beyond the paycheck, what makes PR life or PR work fulfilling for you?
Wow. Napaka-profound na question. It's the ability to do something bigger sa professional growth, sa pag-inspire ng mga colleagues or ng teammates mo, and the communities that you serve. So, doon meron kang malaking responsibilidad to let them know na, hindi siya mangyayari ngayon, pero pwedeng mangyari siya bukas or sa susunod na araw. Or for your safety, hindi natin pwede siyang gawin ngayon. Yung mga bagay na gano'n, maliliit na bagay yun kung tutuusin, no? Pero you get to inform the public para nakakapaghanda sila. You get to share tips para makabuti sa buhay nila. So, tingin ko yun, since na yung message nag-emanate na mismo sa'yo. So, at sa kumpanya. And that, yun nga, kagaya ng nasabi ko kanina, mas malawak na yung appreciation mo sa mga bagay-bagay. Hindi na lang basta simple yung tingin mo sa baso. You always look at the glass half full. Parang ganon. So, I think yun, in a way, talagang grateful din ako kasi not everyone is given that diba, opportunity to transition from media to being a pilot to to being a communications professional. So it's always a blessing.
Right. Ganda. Before we end this episode, we actually asked a few of our colleagues to ask you questions. So nag-iwan kami ng fishbowl dito sa office where they can drop the questions for you. So we already told them that Steve Dailisa is coming to the office. So if you can answer a few questions for us.
Parang beauty pageant. Sige. Tingnan
Question
natin.
number 1.
Sana masagot ko to. Okay, basahin ko ba?
Yes.
With tools like ChatGPT and Gemini now able to draft statements, edit content, and even generate images, can artificial intelligence replace a public relations or corporate communications team? Ako, to be honest, pa rin ako dito. I'm I find ChatGPT and yung Gemini as a useful tool.
Yeah, oo.
Because, di ba, kahit papaano, pwede kanyang bigyan pwede nang padaliin. Pero ako, hindi ko siguro mababago to na dapat yung concept, yung pag-iisip, yung pag-create ng ideas, yung paglatag kung ano yung gusto mong gawin at yung mga the objective should be very clear and thoughtfully tawag nito crafted.
Right.
Tapos if you're using AI, artificial intelligence, di naman na mawawala yun, pero dapat hindi mawawala yung pagiging tao at yung puso na meron dun sa isang material or content. It's a helpful tool, but it should not dominate your content.
And I think it is only as good as your prompt.
Correct.
So
correct.
parang you still have to think,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So you don't think na there will come a time where comms professionals will be replaced by AI?
I don't think so. Kasi tayo pa rin yun eh. Tingin ko bilang, bukod sa pagiging konsyensya, tayo yung puso ng kumpanya.
Yeah,
The heart
yung
of the company.
personal,
Correct.
no?
Oo. So, paano naman pag tinanggal mo yun?
Yeah.
Paano magbi-beat?
Tama naman.
Di ba?
Sige.
Sige.
Ako naman ang
Ikaw nang bumunot for
pumili.
me.
Do you have a girlfriend? Hindi talaga yun. Does a
Fast
PR
talk pala.
practitioner need to be a graduate of a communication-related course? Interesting.
Tingin ko, not necessarily. Baka
Maybe it helps.
It helps. Pero tingin ko, ang sure ako is that pag galing ka sa media, mas madali mong maiintindihan
Right, oo.
yung trabaho ng corporate communications or ng government relations for that matter, di ba? Kasi ando dun yung network, alam mo kung ano yung deadlines, you
Yeah.
need to respect yung deadlines, the requirement of the job, di ba? So it helps you better understand. Pero tingin ko kahit naman, pinaka-importante kasi dito, marunong kang makinig.
Tama.
Yun.
Values pa rin
Yes,
yan.
yes. Dapat marunong ka talaga makinig. Kasi yun yung trabaho natin, di
Yeah.
ba? And then we translate whatever we hear dun sa pag-shape ng narrative ng...
Sabi nga nila, the best communicators are the best listeners. Right?
Tama, tama. Sige, buna tayo ulit. Okay. So ito, is public relations best learned in school or mainly developed through professional experience? To be honest, tingin ko yung theories pwedeng ituro sa school, but yung experience, yung day-to-day encounters mo with different people, yung mga C-suites and yung mga yung mga colleagues mo and even yung external stakeholders. Ito yung makatutulong ng malaki. Parang yung theories can only present something, an idea, but yung experience will help you a lot in terms of navigating the complexities of this job.
Segue ko lang, meron ka bang naging experience when you were in the media? Parang probably you failed or you were embarrassed na hindi mo makalimutan and then it really became an important lesson for you.
Oh, wow. Ang natatandaan ko before, nung nagsisimula ako, syempre may kabab. Pag
Yeah,
magtatanong ka, di ba? Kasi, naku, baka mamaya mali yung question ko or baka mamaya iba yung maging dating nung tanong. So, tingin ko, in terms of yung failure or buti na lang wala pala akong bloopers.
Oo nga.
Otherwise,
Ang daming reporters na may
ngayon kasi
bloopers.
parang ang daling makita yung mga
Yeah.
bloopers eh. No? Pero thankfully, wala naman ako masyadong matandaan.
Okay.
Pero sa iniisip ko ngayon, sabi ko, oo, may mga pagkakataon na mali yung pagkakasulat. Pero may mga pagkakataon na yung mga, of course, hindi naman to aabot sa TV pag mali. Kasi maraming layers eh, maraming gatekeepers tayo na tinatawag, di ba, bago lumabas at umere yung balita. But siguro, more of, lang talaga ako, grateful ako dun sa mga nagturo sa akin. Kasi nakita agad nila yung mga mali at naitama nila yung mali. So, pasasalamat talaga sa kanila. Kasi ngayon, lahat ng mga natutunan ko noon, yung mga baka may mga hindi magandang practices, yung mga bossing dati, na on how they manage people, or baka mamaya yung mga pagkakamali ko as a reporter na nakalimutan kong detalye na itama nila. So, nagpapasalamat ako dun kasi hindi ko makalimutan yun hanggang ngayon.
Dapat talaga na may certain humility.
Mhm.
Okay, last question tayo. At what stage should a company hire a public relations or communications team?
Dapat meron talaga siya.
From the start.
From the start. Kasi, tawag nito, may, di ba, nabanggit ko sa'yo kanina, may maling connotation or may negative stigma na kinakabit dun sa PR.
Yeah.
Yung, naku, nami-PR. PR lang
mo na
to,
lang yan.
PR lang yan, PR. Hindi siya ganun eh. Tingin ko sa simula pa lang kung ang kumpanya sa very strong communications team, lahat ng mga mensahe niya na i-communicate yon clearly, concisely, and yung, kumbaga, dun yung clarity sa messaging. Kung merong communications team na magaling ang isang kumpanya. And at the end of the day, di ba, kapag walang hindi strong ang communications team, it could cause the downfall of a company. Kapag hindi na protektahan. Kumbaga para tayong mga parang, should I say, yung parang sa isang palasyo, kayo yung nandoon, naka-guard sa labas. Yun, to make sure that the company is vibrant, the company survives a reputational attack, di ba? And that, that, again, you fulfill the main objective of communication, which is to get the message across.
What happens when a company hires a PR team only when there's a crisis?
Hindi sabog-sabog yun. Kasi kapag dun pa lang sila on board, aaralin pa nila kung anong history ng company. Hindi nila malalaman agad kung anong magandang nagawa na ng kumpanya. Hindi rin nila maikukwento ng maayos kung bakit nangyari ang mga nangyari. And walang magsasabi sa kumpanya na dapat transparent tayo sa simula pa lang para mas naiintindihan nila tayo.
Hindi nagiging sincere, no?
Correct.
Okay. And maybe that's why some crisis communications fail.
Tsaka hindi dapat band-aid solution yung
Right.
may represent. Dapat sustainable yung mga initiatives. And dapat, at saka yung, di ba, yung relationship that you build with your stakeholders, hindi siya kung kailan mo lang sila kailangan. It's a constant, consistent, parang ang tawag dyan yung relationship capital and reputation capital. Dapat it is done consistently and dapat yung pinagmumulan nun dun sa goodness ng kumpanya.
Hindi ka dapat reactive.
Correct.
I can't believe tapos na yung episode natin. Parang nabitin ako. It was such a fun conversation.
Yeah, same.
Diba? But before we end this episode, baka meron kang mga fans dyan who may want to reach you. So, how can they contact you?
I usually reply sa LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yun, Steve. Talaga ganun pa rin ako.
Like
Steve
Steve, yeah.
Dailisan.
Okay.
At saka sa Instagram. Ando doon lang naman ako, Steve Dailisan. Yun.
Are there really some people that message you?
They do.
Talaga?
Minsan nga, kahit na company-related or work-related yung
Galing.
message. And bukod doon, kasi syempre, meron akong parang personal advocacy, yung learn, share, inspire. So, I get to connect with people, students, ganyan, para baka makatulong in any way. Para nagagawa ko yung advocacy ko.
Galing. Actually, trivia, yung producer namin dito, Lika Mick, dati siyang student ni Steve. Kasi si Steve dati nagtuturo siya sa PUP. O, diba? Full circle moment.
Oo nga. Tapos yung kwentuhan namin, nasa Marawi ako, nagko-cover before
Right, oo.
naka-messenger, video messenger kami ng class.
Buti walang mga, diba, sa likod. Right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you kasi it's an opportunity also to share na yung the good work also that yung mga kasama natin sa
Right, oo.
communications professionals na talagang nagtatrabaho at nagsisipag din to make sure na hindi lang para sabihin ko ano yung magaganda, di ba? But to make the companies accountable din.
Right.
Di ba?
That's important. And I think to give the audience a deeper understanding of what really is communications. Sabi mo, hindi lang siya basta PR-PR.
Oo, hindi siya ganun.
Oh, there is really, ang ganda talaga yung sinabi mo na konsensya siya ng company. I love it. Okay.
And that's it for another episode of Breaking Ground. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more meaningful conversations. We'll see you on the next one.